Happy New Year's, you guys. So it's up early where I'm at, and I decided I was going to do a video on just me setting up my introduction to the new month. So if you watched my last video, I was talking about that I am using a composition notebook for my journals this year. And let me see if I can adjust this camera just a little bit, get more of a view in there. And not quite the shadow, but let's see. Okay. So I wanted to go ahead and start the new month off. So I have been adding little things here and there, and I'm still working on the video series. But one of the things I wanted to do at the beginning of every month is to set up a calendar and set up that it's moving into a new month. So I don't know. It's really on the fence how long this one is going to last. I have no idea. So we're going to give it a whirl and see what we have. And you know, some months as it moves on, I may not have a whole lot in there, or more visual, more writing. My goal is to have more writing, but we'll see as the new year progresses. And so I am offering these large stickers in my shop. They basically, I'm going to be using them to use for documentation, and I plan on doing this every month because this is my I call these my big brave girls. And I've actually, when I first started doing art, I did a whole series of them, and so I'm going to be adding to that series for every month. So I'll have 12 girls of my BBGs is what I call them. So let's go ahead and get started. This morning I woke up and I had this color in my mind, and so I'm going to be using this color as, I guess it matches my nails too, but I'm going to be using this color as my introduction page. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and get started. So okay, I had originally bought this Susan Branch. I love Susan Branch. She's one of my favorite artists, and I love her books. But I had originally bought this to use as just a calendar in my journal. I was going to rip it out for every month and put it in there. But then I started looking at all this beautiful artwork on the other page, and it was really hard for me to do that. So I don't know. I mean, it just was kind of tough. So I don't know. I'm still on the fence about that because I do love her artwork, and I would like to add this actually to my journal. So I had my gas people that come and deliver us propane come to the rescue. So they delivered this calendar that I can use in my journal. So I'm going to go ahead and take this apart. It's just stapled on here, and use each month. I'm going to use this as my calendar base here. And I had also tossed up the idea of using a drawing out my own calendar, and I was going to do it as a printable, you guys, for you, and but it just never happened, and here we are, January 1st. So I'm going to take that as a clue. It's not going to happen. So I also wrote myself a letter for the new year. Like I said, I woke up thinking about color, and I don't know, I struggle here because I am such a colorful person, but not everybody in my household is colorful, and of course I want pink everywhere, and it's been on my, I guess 2 years ago. If you look at my vision board, it talks about adding pink and florals and things throughout the house. So it's obviously something that's been on my mind, and I'm just going to make the plunge and do it this year, and we'll see what the response is. Not everybody has to be like my style, but me living without my style isn't helping matters either. So with that being said, I started out, I want to add pink to my journal today. So yeah, so I just kind of, and this is something that's good too. Sometimes I do this at the beginning of the month, is I used to write down, this is what my goals are for my business and everything, but I don't know. I mean, my business is still me as a person, but also, I don't know, I think that's one of the things 2020 did for me is really take a look at just life, just things, what's important, what are you doing, where are you going to look back on and have any regrets is what I call it, but just little things like that. So I think just living in the moment and doing your thing for the moment is the best you can do for yourself. I mean, that's how I feel. I mean, not that making plans and stuff for the future, but don't live so far in the future that you miss out on today, I guess is what I'm saying. Boy, am I very, very thinking this morning. So I wanted to show you guys also a little plan that I had. I started using this when I had my bigger journal because I would use this as like a template. I mean, I put my sheet to write on here because it was so big and bulky it was hard to write in. But then this has just became like a tool. It's a clipboard. And basically what I do is I just start adding little things that I want to use throughout my journal for the month. So I found this really pretty paper cutout that I want to use in my journal this month. It was from Daphine's Diary. These are some weather stickers that I purchased. They were printables from Recreations by Brooke. And I will include those down below. This is a Mindy lace fill printable that I have of these adorable little snow babies. Another weather with some of the days of the month. I mean, days of the week on there as well. As you can see, I've already used several of these, but this is just really handy for me to have when I sit down to journal, is this right here. And I can just clip it in as I need things for the journal. Now, I mentioned on Instagram a while back, do you guys ever use anything like for really, really good days and really, really bad days? So I do use stickers for really, really good days and like days that I just love and I want to remember those as a visual as I'm flipping through my journal. I use my cute little fairy. That means I had a fairy tale day. For very bad days, I don't know why, but I've always used a duck. And so I had drawn this duck a while back for a printable that I offered last year sometime, I believe. But I just made me a sheet of these little duck stickers. And so I just place it on there if I've had a bad day. Sometimes I journal about it, sometimes I don't. Because sometimes, I don't know. That's kind of just a personal thing. But that just shows me, hey, today wasn't that great of a day. Or today was super awesome. So that's kind of, I always have these stickers available. They were in the back of my journal, but now I have them on my clipboard. And then, of course, for this month, I have my numbers and my days of the week. So, and then we're actually going to be using this today, right now, to make my entry page. So, for the entry page, I did have this paper from Christmas, and it's Winter Wonderland, and they have like, since we don't get snow here. I mean, I take that back. My mom did text me last night, but she's like 2 hours north of me. And she does get snow, but we do have cooler, chilly weather, and I really do wish we would get snow, because I haven't ever experienced that, and it is something that I want to do in my lifetime. So, but I want to go ahead and I think I'm just going to actually add this as a whole background for January, because I am just going to be doing her as an introduction. So, and one thing about this paper, it's actually a little bit thicker than normal. That's a Hobby Lobby paper pad, and so surprisingly, it's a lot thicker. But I kind of want to leave this open to each month is you can paint the page, but with it being I just really like this paper, and I was like, you know, I'm not ready to quite put the paper away, even though Christmas is done, but these little snowflakes are perfect for documenting January. So I just actually use extra strength glue, and I put the whole sheet on there, and then I just kind of trim around that paper here. Yeah, so this is, if you're looking and you haven't seen my last video, this is my vision board for the year. And I feel like I'm so on top of things this year, because sometimes I'm creating my vision board midway through January. Let me get some of this stuff out of the way here. And so yeah, what I did this year is I basically created a journal with like different, I did a vision board with art, with wording from magazines, lettering, those kind of things. And on this particular page, I made a copy of it, and then I just added it to my journal. So the original is in my planner, so I can view it. And actually, I just had some things that I saw online. So exciting to see some different things that are kind of I don't know. We'll see. I want to add some more. Basically, what I'm saying is I want to add some more photos. I just thought about, I just saw these painted barns on Instagram. And actually, I'm going to go and look at Pinterest and start me a little sheet, because wouldn't that be, we have a big barn in our back, but it's my husband's, and he has all his trailers and stuff like that. But what if I was to paint it and had my art studio out there? That would be amazing. So get electricity out there. I mean, there would be a lot to work to do, but as I mentioned in those videos, is in the actual feed itself, was that you put it out there and see if it's going to manifest itself, like your dreams, which I totally believe that if you dream about it enough and think about it enough, it's meant to be, it's going to happen. But the only thing, I'd really have to like light up the path, because sometimes going back there at dark, it's a little freaky for me. So I don't know. Like I said, it's just a dream. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I have this as my background. I just added a little bit of washi to the top here. I would have put a whole strip of washi, but I really think this glue is going to last. But I just added a little bit on the ends. And the reason I do that is because the ends seem to come up the most. But the reason I don't want to add it all the way down is when you put washi on top of washi, a lot of times, depending on how the washi is, it will pill up. That's my experience with it. So I didn't want to go overboard with adding another piece of washi, and kind of like, it would almost kind of create like a border, like too much for me. So that's kind of what I did. So just to secure the edges down. So here we go. We're going to take our January BBG girl. Now, if you order her, she does come on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. She is cut, so you can use her as a sticker. Oops. And I'm just putting her in the middle like this. And then I'm going to put the month of January above her. And like I said, as the months get further in, that's the cool thing about these creative journals, is that you can come in here, and even though you add this and you want to come in and add a little bit more, it's open. You can do that. So if I wanted to come in and add a little bit more blue paint to this, then definitely you can do that. I just wanted to see what this snowflake sticker would look like against snowflake paper, if it's just to add. Oh, okay. So see, I feel like I need to add a little bit contrast, even though it's blue. So I think I'm just going to add a couple of these little snowflakes to my page here, just to kind of if you've been following me for a while, you know my theory on more is always better. I am not a minimalist at all. So think I'm just going to kind of add some bits of these snowflakes, just to give it a little bit of contrast. Cut this one off on the side here. Then I'll add one more on this side, and I think that will be good. Almost all the way on there. I love having where it kind of comes off. Doesn't look as uniform that way either. Okay, so moving on to the next introduction page, I'm going to put on my calendar. And as I can see, this is going to need to be trimmed just a little bit on the edges. And probably what I'll do is come in here with some stickers and add for birthdays and things like that, or things that are going on, add, you know, just like you would on a planner, add that in there. So I'm going to actually make this into a pocket because I want to add my letter in there as my little kind of letter to myself for the new year, like this. But as I mentioned earlier, I started thinking about this color this morning. So I think I'm going to do just that. I think what I might do, actually though, is put some backing on this just to make it a little bit more sturdy. But let's go ahead and add this to the top here. This pink paper. Got washi on it. Whoops. Okay. I was trying to avoid that that washi that was on there. Should have just peeled it off, but it's going to be stuck on the back anyway. Line it up a little better on there. Trim that out. Now I have played around. So when I bought this, when I had this idea of moving into a composition book this year, I bought some different different glue. And you guys, this is my glue of choice. Actually, I am going to try to get some different adhesive, but for adding pages together or gluing down like cardstock onto your notebook or your journal or whatever, this is the glue for me. It is so sturdy. I don't have to worry about it coming apart. Okay, so with this background, I really don't have to. I'm going to actually look for something a little thinner. Let's see what I have here. I don't want to necessarily use anything that I just adore because you're not going to see it anyway, really. So, I do love the cloud paper, don't get me wrong, but I just want to make this a little bit more sturdy for making that pocket. Actually, let me just play around with this let me think for a second. Would that really matter if it needs to be more sturdy? Because it is just going to, it's not going to be something that's going to be continuously used. It's just this one little, I think it'll work. I mean, I will be writing on it. Decisions, because then it add more bulk. Okay, I've made up my mind. I'm just going to add some glue around this edges. So I want to definitely make this where I'm not going to be stuck not being able to stick my piece of paper in there. So let me let me put this away. We're going to put a paper towel down to help the glue situation here. Okay. So, definitely want to make this where I have space to slide in that letter to myself. So I'm just going to go around the edges here with my glue stick. Okay. And pop it on here. And the thing with using stickers to dress this up, it's going to make it look prettier than just a... That's one of the reasons I wanted to use the Susan branches, because it's just so cute. But, this will definitely be fine once you start adding those stickers in. Okay, let's try this out. It's not going to be dry yet, but it's going to pop in right there, just like that. And then I'll have my little letters. So, okay, now, I'm going to add a couple little things with paint, and then of course we're going to have to let it dry. But you get the idea that this is going to go into here. But I'm going to add some paint here at the top. Because, you know, I love the pink, but it needs some little pizzazz to it as well. And then that'll be it. My introduction page to January will be done. I'm really excited about, you know, I've used the Traveler's Notebook for, gosh, years as my journal, but I'm really, and then I switched over to the larger, because just I wanted something different, you know. I mean, I think it's just you get sometimes to the point that you do want to try, and it was way to travel with it. And like I said, I've been fortunate to be able to work from home, so that hasn't been an issue. But where did I go? I think I went somewhere, maybe my mom's or sister's. I don't know. I haven't been anywhere, so it's just kind of, but I couldn't take the big journal with me because it was just too big. And I'm going to be doing a flip through. I might do a flip through just with it not being complete, because this is my October, so see how much fun it is. And it may not get completed. I mean, especially since we're in the new year, sometimes I have to let that go where I might not be able to say, okay, I'm going to go back. Unless it's like really something I can remember. Oh yeah, this is much better paint than that other one. So I can... So yeah, so sometimes you just have to say it is what it is and just keep moving forward and try not to skip a beat in your new journal, in the new, where you're at right now. So, with my word being fairy tale this year, I think I'm starting out pretty good, right? Painting in the morning, first thing. Getting my journal ready to go. Like I said, a lot of this is going to be hidden by but I definitely wanted to add something to this pink. Little, oh, and that was the other thing. So, I'm going to be posting this in my blog post soon, but I loved following along with doodles. Like I said, some of them I didn't get done in my December journal, I am going to be doing a flip through, for sure a flip through that one, because and I will this other one, but that one I actually did complete, which I'm really excited. I'm working on some loose ends for the journal, but overall I am really, really happy that it's almost complete. And so yeah, so I'll be doing a flip through that, but I really enjoyed doodling every day. That was part of the Dolly's Doodle Challenge. I did kind of slack the last week, 2 weeks actually, because Christmas I didn't think it was going to be a little crazy, but literally I was wrapping on Christmas Eve, and I never have done that in forever. Usually it's something that I do way prior. And so, I don't know, it kind of like snuck up on us, and so some of those I didn't quite get done, and you know what? I'm okay with it. It's okay. I got the majority of them, and it was fun because it was, to me, it was like creating art every day, doing little sketches and doodles, and some were more elaborate at the beginning of December than the others, but that was perfect. I loved it. Okay. So there we have it. It's a wrap. We got our intro to January in our journals. And then I'll put my little letter in here and fill this out once this dries. So, alright you guys, thanks for joining me. This was fun. I hope to do this at the beginning of every month. And really, that'd be great if I could pop on the video and you guys can play along and watch. Alright, well, I will see you in my next video.